in this technical demonstration, we're going to install the Centrify Identity Platform. This is going to be also known as the portal. Now, again, remember there are different installation methods related to the portal. The most common one that's used is the cloud-based or software as a service-based implementation, which is facilitated by Centrify. But in some organizations, the installation of the portal must be inside the data center or on-prem. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. Now, I've already downloaded the software, and I'm simply going to run the installation from the shortcut that I created earlier. Now, as you can see, the installation of the identity platform is wizard-based, so we'll simply click Next and accept the terms of the license agreement. Next, we'll need to supply the company name and the license key. Now, this will be supplied by Centrify directly, and it is specific. So what Centrify sends you in the form of the company name information and license key information that you have purchased is what you will enter in this space provided. Now, once that's completed, we can now go through the process of identifying the installation method that we're going to use. Now, as we've already learned in training, there are two primary installation modes for an on-prem or customer-managed installation. The first is an evaluation mode. The second is a clustered mode. Now, in this particular instance, clustered mode could be in a primary or secondary cluster. Now, for this installation and this demonstration, we're going to focus on the evaluation mode. So I'll simply click Next. Next, we'll need to identify the database option. Now, the identity platform currently uses Postgres SQL database, which can be installed during this installation of the identity platform. But if you already have Postgres SQL database deployed in your environment, you can check the option and enter in the information regarding the host of where that database is located. Once again, for this demonstration, I'm going to uncheck the box and we'll install Postgres during the installation of the identity platform. Keep in mind, this is going to add some time to the installation. We'll go ahead and click Next. Next, we'll need to identify the location on this system where the identity platform is going to be stored. We'll leave it as the default. We'll click Next and then click Install. And now, as you can see, the installation wizard portion of the identity platform has been completed. Now, as we learned from training, there's a second stage to the installation of the identity platform in a customer-managed environment, and that's the PowerShell script. So let's run through that now. As I click Finish, PowerShell will automatically launch, and now we can proceed through the second stage of the installation. Now, the configuration through the PowerShell script of the identity platform is going to start with the username of the initial administrator account. Now, as you can see here, there is a default, and we're not going to use the default. We are going to use one that's part of our domain, but it's going to be a unique account. Now, this account is going to be a Centrify Directory Services account. We're going to use the same domain as Active Directory, but it's going to be a unique account. The account doesn't actually exist in Active Directory currently. So we'll go ahead and do that now. This is going to be admin@omicron.lab. We'll need to supply the administrator email address, which again will be the same. And we'll need to supply the password and then verify that password. Next, we'll need to supply the fully qualified domain name that's going to be used for this service. Now, as you can see, there is a default, and we're going to go ahead and maintain the default, which is centrify.omicron.lab, which happens to be the name of this server. So we'll just go ahead and press Enter. Now we'll need to supply the custom host certificate. Now, if we haven't created one, then one can be generated for us. But I've already created one earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and use it instead. So I'll go ahead and click Yes. And now I can go ahead and browse over to where that certificate is stored. And I've configured the certificate not to require a password because it's applied to the domain admins group. So I'm just simply going to say no. Now I'll need to select the folder for the service databases. I'm going to go ahead and leave this as the default. And we'll just click Select Folder, and the configuration will begin. Now, the PowerShell script is going to take some time, so please be patient during this process. For the demonstration, we're going to go ahead and time-lapse this and then shorten the amount of time it really takes. But please be aware that it could take up to 20 to 25 minutes to complete the entire installation from the initial Windows installation wizard through the PowerShell script in confirmation with the browser. Now, as the installation continues, we'll also be prompted for a location for the service setup and recovery file. Once again, we're going to use the default, so we'll simply click Select Folder. And now, as you can see, the PowerShell script has been completed and the browser has been launched, taking us directly to the new portal login.